You're right. When you came out of the womb was punk sucks.
Exactly. This is what I have to live for?
That's 1970. That's back when I was born.
Welcome to the status quo. Let's start breaking it down. I'm Chance. I'm the Community Engagement Director for Sundered Gaming. And let me introduce my compatriots here. We've got John, the lead coder on our projects. We've got Shad, the lead artist on all of our projects. And then you've already met Bear, the lead scribbler on all of our projects. So, new company, new beginnings, new startings. Might as well start with the very first question here. What got all of us into this project, into game design, into development, into wanting to produce content?
So, don't all start out all at once, guys. Come on now. We gotta speak one at a time, clearly and concise. All started back in 1985. It was a gloomy day out in California.
Was that the year you were born?
It was.
I graduated 2 years after you were born. Jesus Christmas.
I was born on a rainy day. And then I came out and I was like, God, shit, this system's messed up.
What system?
The gaming system.
That's your answer to that question?
You're right. When you came out of the womb was punk sucks.
Exactly. This is what I have to live for?
That's 1970. That's back when I was born. 85.
Trying to think what was popular when I was born. Age of Empires? Still play that.
Still.
Well, yeah.
It was. It's 22 years old. You're 25, so yeah.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
there.
26, thank you. My dash and good looks make me
Don't
look
make
young.
me any older than I want to be.
That's a little fair.
Well, you're as old as you are, so.
Yeah, it's up there.
So seriously, what got you into like, okay, there's something wrong, it needs to be fixed? What was that moment for you?
Well, it was never really that everything's wrong. It was more when I was a kid, as far as like playing video games, how awesome it would be to grow up to actually, make the video games. And then when the time came to have that opportunity, we started having a recession. And at the same time, it was kind of like, everyone's dream wanted to be like, at one point everyone wanted to be a cop, everyone wanted to be like a firefighter, then everyone wanted to go into coding. And so it's like, well, I saw what they used to make, and now I'm going to see what they are going to make, and I'm like, all right, you know what, screw this, I'm going to go down a different path. And then somehow that path led me to Home Depot, which, for a while was nice, because I actually got to help people, and then COVID happened. Dun, dun, dun. Dreaded COVID. And then all of a sudden people turned into assholes. Or, I guess...
That was the understatement of the century.
Right?
I didn't know we were getting a whole life story today, but I appreciate it.
I'm just saying, you want to know, and this is how it happened. People became too much assholes for me to realize, what the fuck am I doing? And then I, was rooming with Bear and asked him a question pretty much as far as like his universe, because this was at the same time that, Blizzard was going on their rabbit hole of like retconning everything that was, that we all had beloved and loved and can't even make two sentences coherent with their storyline now. And so it's just figured, what if we start over with, with Bear here, like, hey, I know he likes to create stories and whatnot, and it's like, hey, well, where did magic come from? And started after talking a while, and I was like, okay, I think I got my story guy. It's like I was interested in coding. I could go back and do it again. And then, I asked you, what would you do to quit Home Depot?
That's not what you asked me.
No, I said, what would it take to leave Home Depot?
You said how much money
how much money would it take to leave
for
Home
you
Depot?
to leave Home Depot?
Not asking you what position you would be in.
Correct. I just told you my salary. And then you scoffed at me and walked away. and then I had to corner you.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't at a scoff.
That was a scoff.
No, it wasn't a scoff. I took what you said as information. Okay, that number is what I have to reach.
That's the difference in salary between the department supervisor
No,
and the assistant
not at
store
all.
manager.
No, in my head, that's what I was saying.
No, and then
I didn't say it to your
and then I
face.
had to corner you behind the building and be like, "Hey, what are you talking about?"
Corner me. It's like you were like roughing me up. Like, the fuck you talking? Ah!
I did what I needed to do. All right.
At no time during that rambling was there anything. No.
Well, no, it's because people sucked, and I was tired of working in that retail space, and I decided to go back to what I wanted to do, or what I got enjoyment out of, which was, well, one was making music, and two, I was thinking, take a stab at this coding business, because I realized, like, when I was in high school, you're always told, oh, go to college so you can get a good job, do this, so you.
I've been to 4.
Hey.
All of them useless.
Right. Well, 4 schools?
Yeah. Don't give me a start.
Or 4 colleges?
4 colleges.
Yeah. But, well, I know. But anyways, when we were growing up, our generation was, go to school, go to college, then you get a job. So it was always implanted that you had to work for somebody in order to move up in the world. Which, unfortunately, it's had to take me like 30 years after the fact to realize I don't have to work for anybody. I can just create the content myself, and then I can be my own boss and have my own decisions instead of having to work through someone else's company to get to a point to actually be like, you guys are fucking stupid. Why did you do this?
So what you're telling me is you came to this conclusion when I became your boss the first time?
And working for assholes.
Working for assholes? No, when I realized humanity as a whole started turning to assholes after COVID.
No, that's fair. That's fair. What about you, Bear? What was the driving factor for you on pursuing this and wanting it?
The driving factor for me, I think it was the opportunity that I couldn't pass by and give. Like, every person has moments in their life, and you're like, I'm going to do this or that or this, and I've done a lot of things, and I never felt like I've really taken a chance or, like, really just stretched and tried to, like, force myself to do something outside of maybe my comfort zone. Like, I like things in order and structure, and so, and it was a chance for me to see what I could do and see if I actually had, like, here I am thinking I can do this and this and this and this. It's like, all right, then do it. And that's what I decided. Like, all right, I trust these guys enough. I've known you guys for a pretty good while. And it's like, they wouldn't be talking about this like they are if they're not serious. So I'm going to get serious now and start it. And start writing, start getting this stuff together so they can see their world or what they're going to be creating in video games. They can see it already. It's already there. And they're like, they can build off of it. So at that point, I think it was just like, I'm ready for the change. A lot of stuff has changed in my life. I'm ready to take that next step. And I want to do it with people that I love and enjoy being around. And why not? Like, we only live once. So I want to do the best I can now. Like, yeah. Anyway, I was gotta finish my note.
So basically, you're living your life on YOLO right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about you, Shad?
You assholes were having too much fun without me, so I had to come over and see what was going on. No, I heard you guys doing this, and you guys were putting it all together and trying to figure it out, and we play D&D together, so I hear you guys talking about it all the time. And I'm talk to my wife, and an opportunity that I didn't think I could pass up. Just like Bear was saying, you get those opportunities in life that just come at you once in a blue moon. And I'm a little bit with John too. You're always working with a company where you really can't dictate or it's not the way that you want it to be with all the people that you have to work for and the rules and regulations and guidelines and all that stuff. So you really can't be the leader you want to be or do the things that you want to do. So I've always been into the fantasy genre of playing D&D since I was a young kid. And I've always wanted to do art and be an artist. My mother's a crazy, amazing artist. She paints and sculpts and just all her life she's always done it. And I've always been in awe of that. So when this opportunity came for me to be able to be part of a group and to take the opportunity to learn how to be an artist, which is way different than you think it is. Because when you're thinking about paper and pencil, totally different. When you first open Blender and you look at the square box in the middle of the screen going, what the hell did I just do?
You start crying. You're like, none of these buttons work. I can't get the box to.
Why is my pencil not working?
So learning electronic art is a heck of a lot different than just art. I can't draw for crap, but I can create characters in Blender and the other programs that I'm using, which is awesome, which we use for our game. And it's been challenging. But fun. It's we don't answer to anybody but each other, and that was a huge thing. Just an opportunity I couldn't pass up. And
except for the devs.
Except for the what?
The devs.
Oh.
Fucking developers.
Those bastards.
And
I can't believe they gave us permission to do this. That's all I'm saying.
couldn't believe what?
Can't believe the devs gave us permission to do this.
Oh,
Take all this time out of our day,
Right.
Being
To
not
do a
productive.
podcast of what we're doing. Come on.
so that's I petitioned to become part of the team, and they voted and said yes, and
I
here
got
am.
outvoted.
It was a 2-1.
Wow. That's my son, by the way. If you don't know, that's my appreciate it. Thanks. And here we are, 6 months later, getting ready to release our first game, and the trials and tribulations of we've grown through that whole process, and here we go. So that's it.
I think to piggyback off of what you just said there, that not having to answer to anybody, I think we kind of do with the company that we want to run and how we want to produce. So my whole part about being a part of this is I used to play EVE Online, which had a really great community, had a really great community engagement team, and they did a lot to engage with their community and to bring them into the production of the game and bring them into the development of new features. And the more and more you look at these AAA titles, the more and more you look at these big companies, they really don't care about the gamers as a whole. It just, everything's turned into microtransactions, everything's turned into how much money can I get out of these people. It's just not conducive for a good gaming community, and for me it's not conducive to a company that I want to give money to. So I haven't touched my computer in probably longer than I care to admit to play any games, because I can't support these
Is that
companies.
how you do it at work?
Well, okay, my work computer. That's fair. That's fair. I think the only game I really play came out before I was even born, Age of Empires. So, it's still on that one. But so my personal investment into this is I want to be able to give our community voice and give our community the ability to affect what happens in our games and how we build and structure, so that we're not one of those companies that just craps all over our players and says, PvPers don't.
You guys have phones, right?
Yeah, you guys have phones, right? Cringe. But just make sure our community knows that they are heard and that we do have some line of communication, even if their suggestions aren't good or gonna work well. We at least reach out to them and be like, hey, we've tried to implement this, it really doesn't work, but we just wanted to let you guys know. So just a line of communication so that the gamers understand that the company's there for them, not that they're there for the company. Although it should be a very good relationship between both, and that's where I'm at with it. I can't support these companies anymore, so let's do it ourselves. Let's make our own games
In our own community.
in our own community. Yeah.
No, it says that in our mission
Bio,
statement, and what we want to do.
Isn't that a line from something Blizzard said? You all have phones, isn't that something?
Yeah,
they said?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I thought
when they released or when they announced Diablo Immortal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This didn't come out until like what?
Like
Last
5
year?
years later.
Yeah,
Last
5 years
year?
later, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was. I wish I could have been there. That would have been such an amazing feeling to listen to everybody in that room just boo him. You guys have phones, don't you? Yeah, but we wanted Diablo 4. And
Right. At least pull up the symbols like, hey, we're working on it, but here's something in between.
But now they announced Diablo 4 and it's all transactional.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same
and
as
it's like
the
a
morals.
$90 game, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, didn't you already buy it? Have you played it yet?
I played it. Danielle got it for me for Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, we had it saved for Christmas because you couldn't buy it yet.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, oh, honey, you didn't really have to get it now because I found out that it's too late. I didn't tell her that.
Yeah, don't.
So now,
I'm
so
not
now you
gonna
got
ruin
to,
it.
Should we take that out?
she's gonna find out now.
She knows now. Have you
Uh,
played it all? Is it any worth?
Did you
We'll
play
drop,
it during
we'll
the-
drop that for later.
It was. I enjoyed playing it because I like the Diablo.
Yeah.
Like it's the dark and they're like ooh scary, but they don't. At least right now, They didn't have a paladin or a knight, and
Wow.
that's like my favorite character.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fight evil?
Yeah,
without
no.
like the holy righteous warrior.
But
coming
they
in,
will.
Like,
It's called DLC in about 6 months.
yeah, that's
No,
that's
you-
that's what I was worried
It's,
about.
it's another 15.
Early access.
or early access, yeah.
So I got to play. I made a mage, and you could only go up to 25, and I got him to 22.
They're
right
charging
now.
full price for a
Well,
beta
it's-
that's not even freaking.
It's only 2 weeks, 2 weekends beta.
It's a
So
early
last
access
weekend, this previous weekend, and the weekend before, and
Oh, so
then
you
it
still get to
doesn't
play the
come out
game.
until
Oh.
June, or I think.
So they'll figure out more ways to charge you for different things in the game. Cool.
Yeah, it did.
That's
I didn't
awesome.
really. It doesn't really show you any of the stuff that they would, where you would be charged or anything. So for me, it was just running around playing and killing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how the mage. The mage was fun, and one thing I do like about it, which a lot of people are probably going to appreciate, is the fact that you can customize your own hero.
Yeah.
But only to a certain extent. Like if you want to, all the male mages look like weak little,
Why
They-
can't he be a swole mage?
Yeah, why can't I have my swole mage? Like, hey man, I work out and know my spells.
It's like, I lift.
Like instead, they're all just like weak little wussy boys with you can put beards on them, and it's like, me.
Like you.
Yeah, pretty much like me,
What's
except except
Behind the camera is my other son, Logan,
I'm fine.
piping in with the comments.
The gallery has to talk.
That's I agree.
Peanut Gallery has to talk. Speak, plebs, speak.
See, my problem is they made so much money off of Diablo Immortal that there's no way they're not gonna microtransaction the living heck out of Diablo.
Well,
Well,
4.
they're at least putting like a battle pass and stuff like
I
Well,
that.
don't
yeah,
even
they
understand-
already put in the battle pass.
Yeah.
Get paid
I haven't
monthly.
looked enough into how that's gonna work.
Yeah, so the battle pass is basically like a monthly, kind of the same way they do it with Call of Duty. So it's a monthly subscription essentially. So they turned Diablo into a subscription game, where you have to achieve either so many ranks or levels into something to unlock different things on the battle pass. So they'll have a free version of the battle pass that gives you
The basic
essentially
stuff.
nothing, and then the paid version for it, which gives you all this cosmetics and all this cool stuff that nobody else is going to get. So, yeah.
Imagine paying $10 every time you wanted to make a seasonal character in Diablo 3.
That's why I was kind of figuring.
Yep. That's going to be
So
gross.
every season you would have to.
You buy the new package to get access to all the upgrades.
Which is, it's like, before, like, you had to pay $60 for this game. Is like, okay,
This
$60.
game's $90.
Well, okay, well, Diablo 4 is. But I'm just saying, back in the day, it was $60, and then the game was yours.
Diablo 3, I love Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
On release, it was a little rough, but when they fleshed everything out, it was really good. It was a great game to play, and
I
like
don't know. I didn't have any issues on release. So.
I just didn't like how their markets were set up and all that. There was other.
Are you
stuff.
talking about the real life auction house?
Yes, I
Or
am.
real money auction house?
Yes, I am.
Real money auction
Yeah.
house.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
took that out
Yes.
after what, about 6 months, 8
I
months?
feel like they took it out pretty quick.
Yeah, it was going quick.
But there was like a community uproar about it, and then they took it away. But I would almost guarantee they bring it back for Diablo 4.
As long as they can charge for your transactions of selling something to somebody else.
Right.
Sure. Every transaction you do is 10 cents to them or
Well, hey,
10%.
we don't even have to buy it. We can just go to Bear's house and be like, all right, show us the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come over and look at it before I buy that one because I'm not. That's
Yeah,
way too much.
I can't give that company any
You
more
haven't got
money.
the impression yet. We hate microtransactions, so there you go.
Yeah, so we're gonna have microtransactions in our game? Yes, because we
What?
need to make money.
Right.
Well,
But it's not going to change gameplay.
there's a difference. There's a big difference. So, the difference between the game we're releasing, so Ages of Laterre is going to be a mobile-based tower defense. We're going to attempt to release it on computer through Steam and through the Epic Games marketplace. But the biggest difference between what we're doing and when you look at every other microtransaction game is anything that you can purchase, you can achieve in the game just by playing. And then on top of that, you have people who have addictions to video games who purchase and purchase and purchase and purchase, and they'll spend thousands of dollars in a month on games. We knew somebody who we used to work with that did that, and we want to curb that. So on the other end of it, we limit how much money you can actually spend per month on our game. Does it hurt us? Sure, it hurts us. Does it give us a better community in the long run? Yes. And that is more important to us than making millions and millions of dollars. I would rather see people enjoy the game and love the game for what it is than to spend a massive amount of money, max everything out, and then get to swing their EP around saying, look at how great I am. That does nothing for a community. It does nothing for a game. And even as a gamer, it doesn't do anything for you. So there's really no purpose for it.
Well said.
That was very well said.
I can orate sometimes.
Sometimes.
I did my oration exercises like the Romans.
Stretch.
Uh,
No, that's good. And then not only that, but with this being our first game, we put this out, we get feedback and all that, and we start making a little bit more money for the company. We also are going to be able to continue to tell like our actual story, the lore, and everything behind it. Like, we're not going into this without being like, oh, what's our next step? Because we've actually planned out to all the way to 2030 the games and what we're gonna do. Like
2030.
So when people look and start like view people that know about what we're doing and what we're trying to do right now, like, we have this planned out. Like, this isn't. Yes, there's a lot of changes and things that are going to happen and adjustments, but this isn't willy-nilly. Like, there's a purpose behind everything that we're doing. And I think from a company standpoint, acting with integrity towards our fans and the people that will purchase from our games and books, etc., I think that's going to speak volumes to the people in general, like the gamers.
Well, I think a good part of what we're doing too is we're wrapping everything in together. So the books that Bear is writing is the basics for all our lore and all our game design. So everything's gonna be based off a world that he's designed and he's writing about. That he's already. We're halfway through the second book, so. That lore, that information, those characters, through our next gamings, through the next 7 years, 8 years, whatever it's going to be, will be the main characters that will be in the game systems. So anybody who's a huge fan of the books and wants to experience parts of those will be able to jump into the game system and go, oh, you know what, I know that character and I know that place, or I know this town or that event that happened in the world. So. We're just trying to wrap everything together, which brings it all into a good cultural mesh, I guess.
Right. I mean, you just finished Biddy, who's he's going to be a huge character in the whole series. Like, and seeing that character alive, like doing things, and not just in my head or reading him doing it, was really cool to see. Like.
That is kind of awesome when
I
you
was
can
like, what?
create that and then put an animation to it and then show the person that created it what it looks like in your thought and his thoughts, and then have that character say something while it's on the screen. Kind of goes, wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah, Awesome.
Yeah, just don't show this guy any art because he just wants to relate it to the Epcot Center or the Egyptians or
What?
I don't know. What else did you relate my art to, John?
The Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower.
It's no Eiffel Tower.
No. It's not that it was the Eiffel Tower. It looked like the Eiffel Tower. It's like, really?
The AV guy told me my logo looked like I did it on MS Paint. Yeah, I've had some good luck on art, so
Well,
glad you're gonna take over
What about
it
the
all.
very first
Constructive
tower
criticism.
I don't
that
wanna
you
talk-
made for me?
I'm gonna have to print out that tower.
You know, at some point we got to post like our very first characters that I ever. Mine
Oh,
was like
that's
Goblin
rough.
Head.
That's rough.
Yours was what, a
Yours
Roblox?
was the orc.
The orc butt.
I can't really like post my first code and be like, oh, here's what happened.
You're right. You broke.
That, or you could also the little kicking. The
Oh yeah.
kicking one.
I don't know if I have that anymore. I couldn't find it.
Oh, the first
We're all
animation?
we're like,
It's like,
it-
oh, what
is it
the
in
hell?
Discord?
Did
Is
I
that-
sign
Isn't
my...
it in Discord?
No, I didn't send it in Discord. I sent it in a
Mine's in
group
Discord.
text.
so I shouldn't have clapped.
I'll live.
That's, yeah. When we release that first game and have a couple of our other podcasts, put all those would be funny
Yeah.
to look at.
Oh, 3D print the my first tower and be like, yeah, that was.
That would be
Really?
a
What
waste
made
of
you
filament,
think-
yo.
It impressed me
That
at the
this-
time.
Would be a good tower.
It looked great for the very first thing.
You were so excited that you
I
got
was
the
so
logs, and then you
Hey,
had to point
it
on
has
the
to
log.
go in. I'll make it like the some fort or something.
Is that like a kid made?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Daddy's
be
building like a real base.
it's gonna be a little Easter egg.
It'd be like
Be
the
like, Find Chance's original fort. Everyone's gonna be like, what?
Castra La Chance.
They're like, what idiot built this?
It wasn't a fort, it was a tower.
Yeah, sorry, tower. Either way. Oh, looking back on it, it's just like I cringe. I'm just like, what was I thinking?
Oh, the first
What
time
were
I
you
was
thinking?
trying to.
Right?
That's insane, even to think about how far we've come in 6 months. Just 6 months. People do this for years, training in schools and
Yeah, we have no
no formal training.
correct. Except for Google,
There's your program. Go figure it
Udemy,
out.
and
YouTube's
Yeah.
been a wonder, just so you know.
yeah.
How do you put eyeballs in a character? Yeah, that's
It's like, oh, how do I do this?
Shift A, sphere, add.
add mirror image, texture. Yeah.
The
Well,
more
it's
you
a-
know.
It's a UV sphere, not a.
Either way,
No.
you knew what I was talking about.
Now I just drag and drop.
Yeah, it gets a lot easier.
Much easier as you get better. Yeah.
Well, we couldn't get any worse.
No,
I'm glad you did worse.
that's funny.
After that first model, I don't think that was possible.
I when I said honestly the first time when I sat down and I looked at that screen and I opened up Blender and you're like, yep, here's your pad, here's your pen, here's your. I looked at it and go, what the fuck did I just do?
What did I sign myself up for?
I just quit an $80,000 a year job to do this.
80? Whoa!
Woo!
Yeah, we were making a bit more than that.
After bonuses, that was
Yeah, no. Easily more.
after bonuses.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. And now I get paid in
Well,
Celsius.
doesn't matter because I don't feel as bad because I didn't leave that high of a job.
Yeah, right.
Now I get paid in constructive criticism.
Yes.
I don't know how constructive that criticism is. Looks like shit. Walks away. How? Explain to me.
It's no Eiffel Tower.
Something's off.
The sign.
I don't know what it is, but something's off.
Oh,
Nope, it's not right. Yeah.
I wanted to throttle you that day. Doesn't look right. Walks away from me. What doesn't look right? If you don't like it, you got to tell me.
Doesn't look right.
The best is 5 minutes.
5
my-
Oh
minutes.
my God.
The whole day.
Oh, that was
5
great.
minutes. But it started out at what 4
Yeah.
4 hours.
No, I started out in hours and then like 5 minutes.
And then it was 5 minutes.
And then
think
every
we-
day is 5. It's
I
5
think
minutes.
we
It's 5
heard
minutes.
5 minutes for probably 2 hours.
Yep.
So much so that it was programmed in my head when Shad had texted in our group chat. He's like, well, how long or whatever,
5
and I just
minutes.
went 5 minutes. And I started laughing because I was filling up for John.
That's funny.
5 minutes.
It was- Listen, what do you think you have?
Linda, listen.
Totally.
Linda.
Totally.
But fixing the errors have gone a lot faster than making it.
Oh,
Well-
our learning curve has gone
Yeah.
to the roof. I mean, we're honestly to where we were to
Where we started?
we've grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like playing with Legos, and now I'm playing with. I don't know.
He's got to finish.
No, we're
book.
still doing Legos, except now you actually can tell what we're building.
Yeah.
It's
He's got a finished book. We've got a finished game.
But
Sort
see,
of.
like he was always so far ahead of us.
Yeah.
It's like he had the
I'm
finished
sure
book
that
before
story
we
was already
started.
in his head before he even wrote one word. So
I think he had some characters. I'm not sure the story was written. Okay.
So how much of it
never
are you
mind.
pulling out your ass as you're sitting back there writing?
I would say
20?
I would
50?
say if we actually had to give me a thing, I would say 50-50
Yeah.
because I have the template
Yeah.
for everything
Mhm.
laid out. I have the characters. I'm like maybe I don't have the name exactly how I want it, but I have the overall flow. But then I want to when I'm actually writing it. That's when I set my. And
Yeah.
I was talking with Chance last week about it. I set the mood, so I'm in that mindset where
Let's
things
get
can
it on.
change in that moment. It's like, initially he was thinking he was gonna do this,
Yeah.
but he switched, and that's me switching, thinking no, this is better, and I'm thinking on the fly because it makes it more realistic
It's like
to
a
me.
D&D session.
Like, well,
Where'd
that's
that
how I.
come from?
That's part of the reason why I probably enjoy it is because, here's me being a DM in my head, and here's the characters, and I've got to get them to where they need to be, and still tell a coherent and fun story.
Yeah, just don't drop your characters down to level 4. The group gets a little pissy.
Okay.
The group's a little sensitive. They need to get over it.
No, I won't tell you what's going to happen next. Are
I
we playing
already
this
logged-
weekend?
I
I don't
already-
even know that. Did we play it Saturday?
I don't know what we're doing Saturday.
I thought it was Sunday.
Saturday is I don't know. Saturday.
I
Not podcast
what's-
time.
I have to check with the boss. So
You're killing me, Smells.
Wow, you got
I'm
a
gonna
boss
say
now.
tentatively yes.
Bear's got a boss too. Don't even start with me. He's got 2 bosses.
Yeah, but what's kind of a necessity?
That is Saturday's the first.
Is it the first? Oh,
April
so he's gonna tell us we're playing, and then he's gonna be like April Fool.
No, I got a doozy for you.
Well, I thought we were gonna see the movie.
Oh,
31st.
the D&D movie.
Comes out 31st that night, right?
Correct, it comes out Friday, but if you guys wanted to see it with Dan, he was.
Is he coming down Friday night? Or is he going to come down
Yeah.
Saturday
Does he
morning?
want us to go up there because that's not?
I am not,
happening.
yeah. That ain't.
No,
driving all the way up there.
Mm-mm.
Love of my life, you're moving out of frame.
Oh,
Love of my life.
I'm just trying to get farther and farther away.
He doesn't bite. He hasn't bit me yet.
I showered today, too, so that's very good.
First time for everything.
Shave, brush my teeth.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look a little balder than normal.
Did you put that shine? That new shine?
I got to do it because when it gets here and it just looks like a little
Like a little
halo
crown.
crown or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
It's a stigma.
People don't fight your baldness. Just go with it.
I asked if I could start shaving, and I got the no.
Yeah. See the boss.
Yeah, Tiffany didn't like it until after
She's
I
like,
used to do it in a skin
It's
baby.
not that I
suit.
won't mind it. It's just I like it right now. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm like whatever.
She doesn't like this. She doesn't like the mustache because it pokes when I'm
Kissing.
kissing.
Look at me. That looks weird.
You just noticed it?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
I don't spend a lot of time staring at your face, so
It's a very
It's not bad because I don't usually like it when it goes down over my lip anyway. So
Some,
yeah. Try eating a hamburger with like a too long of a mustache. You're just
Yeah.
eating hair.
yep.
It's
So I
great.
know.
I don't know how Sam does it.
Yeah, I got no clue.
opens wide.
Well, don't ever ask him to shave his beard again.
That was scary.
Holy
That was
smokes.
scary. Yeah.
So some men are just destined to wear beards. Sam is one of them.
Sam is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I need to see a picture
Oh.
of him without.
I
a
don't
beard.
think
When
I don't
they
think
all
one
s-
exists.
Am I
Yeah,
gonna
when
cut
you
this
all
out?
three shave at the same time.
Yeah, which nobody will ever see me shaved again, but that's regardless of the point.
That was
He
rough
looks like
too.
looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's
That
12.
was rough.
He's got a very round head.
Not even that. Like,
He's jolly.
yeah.
He's jolly.
Walking around as a manager at Home Depot, like with a beard looks
He literally
fine.
looked like he was 15.
When I'm shaved, trying to like talk to a customer, and they're like,
Go get your
"You're
manager."
you're not a manager," and I'm like, "I'm the only manager in the store right now. You're like 15."
I am the senior
I'm
ranking person
24,
in this store
thank you.
right now.
24.
Yeah, those were some good days. Not
Funny.
not at all.
So yeah, no, I'm happy and proud and excited and kind of crazy where we're going and where we've been.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Right?
Where did you come from? Anywho.
What's the? You got any more questions?
No, I actually think the devs told us we needed to not to take too long on this one, so I think we're pretty much running on time. So we've got Bear, our scribbler, writing his and finishing up and looking at publishing the first book. There will be some information on that on our website if you want to go take a look. We've got the cover and we've got a little bit of a synopsis of the book if anybody wants to take a look at it.
Should have the map too soon.
Oh yeah, we
Synopsis.
might have the map, so that'll refer to pretty much every game we work on moving forward. So give you a layout of the land, see everything that we're working on, and kind of where it's related to. You'll get some of the names of the big cities and where everything's located. As for us, we still don't have an official release date for the game, but the closer and closer we get, the more information will be given out about that. Check out our TikToks, our Instagram, our YouTube. More information will be coming out, and we'll be giving little snippets of some of the gameplay here and there as we move forward.
Just advice for anybody who's picking up on the art side of these kind of things. Learn animation and effects as you go through your process, because you'll be there too.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Throw more crap on your plate.
Always.
Always.
Just fill it up. This has been the status quo. Thanks for your time.
Peace.
Alright, give me a clap.